Have you ever wondered what makes a base coat gun a base coat gun and what makes a clear coat gun a clear coat gun? Well, luckily for you, I've been through the ringer with my gun, which is the Apex, and I've learned a lot. So today I'm going to break down the main thing that makes a base gun and a clear gun a clear gun. And that is your air cap. I know it seems hard to believe. It's such a small part of the gun, yet it's pretty much the ultimate deciding factor on how your gun performs. They're also the most expensive single part on your entire paint gun. And the reason why that is because they're just really expensive to machine because the machining has to be so precise. I mean, you're talking about things that have microscopic holes on them. I'm going to do my best to keep this video as concise as possible because I could go on for days and days and days about this stuff, honestly. But we're going to try to keep it real simple and easy for everyone to digest. Want to get this out of the way? These were both prototype caps. The black one here, this is our flow cap. This is the cap that's going to come on the gun. And the gun that we just used on that bumper has our control cap on it. There are three main things I want to talk about on these caps today. The first is the center orifice, which is the hole around your needle. It's going to be very hard to see, but if you note the space there around the needle and note the space here around the needle, see how much tighter it is on our control cap? The second thing we're going to talk about is the center holes. These are called your pre-atomization holes. Those essentially start organizing your paint before the air horns take over, which ultimately are going to dictate your fan. Now we're going to shoot this bumper with our flow cap, and we're going to talk about how that center orifice affects what your gun does. As I mentioned, there is a larger gap on this cap than there is on our control cap. A larger opening means that your paint is going to get hit with air at a lower velocity. So it's not going to break up as soon as it would compared to that cap, where being that it has a tighter orifice, the air is going to come out with more velocity. This is going to cause this gun to spray material in a way that causes it to stay wetter for longer, which is something you would want for your clear coat, which is mainly why our flow cap is mostly for clear coat. To put it into painter terms that's easy for all of us to understand, a tighter orifice means smaller droplets. Since the air is having an impact on the paint sooner, it's hitting it with more velocity and breaking it up sooner than it would with that cap, which is going to give you smaller droplets, which means you're going to have better atomization, which means you're going to have more control over your paint. Now, this blue bumper here that we're painting with our control cap is a metallic. And all we put on here was a coverage coat. And you probably wouldn't have even guessed it was a metallic because of how nice and even it went on. And part of the reason why it went on so even is because of an extremely tight center orifice, as you can see here. The next thing we're going to talk about, by the way, I'm saving the best for last. The best thing to talk about is the air horns, at least in my opinion, because they pretty much determine if I like a gun or not, but we'll get there. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the pre-atomization holes, and it's kind of similar to what we were just talking about with that center orifice. So if we take a look at our pre-atomization holes here, you can see we have 3, and here we also have 3. But again, it might be hard to notice over camera, but if you notice, those 1, 2, 3, 4 holes right outside our center are closer to the center than these holes. And our outer hole here is more balanced in relation to our air horns, whereas the center hole here is pushed more towards our center. Now, what our pre-atomization holes do is we start to organize our paint before it becomes a full fan. More influence on our pre-atomization hole is going to give us a more controlled pattern overall. And in the opposite manner, less influence is going to give you a wetter, more relaxed pattern, which is something you would want when you're spraying clear. Now, being that when you spray base, you want a controlled, consistent pattern, our control cap has holes that engage very early on as soon as your material leaves the gun. This way, by the time your air horns take over, your material is already fairly organized, which is going to contribute to a very consistent, predictable pattern. Now, back to our flow cap. Being that the holes on our flow cap are further from the center and not as well balanced as they are on our control cap, this is going to let your material lay how it wants to lay, which, if you're not the most seasoned painter, could cause an issue when you're painting metallics. And that is actually exactly what led to us deciding to go ahead and come out with an air cap that'll solve that problem for the more inexperienced painters. This is why we held that pre-sale, so we can get feedback from you guys and make sure we're giving you a gun that someone who has little to no experience can pick up and nail a paint job, of course, with the help of some of our YouTube videos. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is our air horns and the holes in our air horns. By the way, I ran out of paint, so I took some leftover gray that I had. We're going to use that and do a spray out so you guys can see how our air horns affect our fan pattern. So one thing you'll notice, you're definitely not going to notice this over camera, but our horns are longer on our control cap and shorter on our flow cap, and our air horn holes on our control cap have a larger front hole. I'll tell you exactly why it's designed the way it is, but first let's do a spray out to compare the two. All right, so first our flow cap. You can see a nice uniform pattern, but it leans center heavy. And now for our control cap, you can see it's not as center heavy as our flow cap pattern. It's much more uniform from the inside out. The first one especially highlights that. I think my gun was tilted down a little bit on some of those. There you go. See that? It's not as dark in the center, and the surrounding paint fades out much more gradually than our flow cap. Now, before I start breaking down how the design on each gun's air horns are going to affect the fan pattern, I want to let you guys know the game plan. Since we based out this with the flow cap and we based out that with the control cap, we're going to clear them with the respective cap. So this will get cleared with the flow cap, that'll get cleared with the control cap. First up is going to be our control cap. As I mentioned earlier, this cap has longer air horns. This is going to give you a more predictable fan pattern, and it's going to stay more uniform and controlled as it gets further away from the gun. See that?
Now, what makes that uniform fan possible is not just the length of the air horn. It's also because of the larger front hole on the air horn. So even when the material travels further away from the air cap, that large hole in the front of the air cap, it's going to push your fan pattern's grasp on your material further out as well, which in the end is going to give you a fan pattern that almost looks square because of how far out it's having an impact. You'll see when I shut the lights off and we do the same thing with the gun light with the flow cap, how much less of an impact it has once the material travels further away from the gun. Unlike this thing where, it's controlling the material across the room. Okay, now we have our flow cap. Do you see as the material gets further, it's still spreading out, up and down? And right near the gun, near the cap, right here, it's not as round, it's a little more pointy. And the reason why that is because this cap was designed to let material flow. And when you have an air cap that's designed to let material flow, when you lay material like clear that wants to flow, it's going to lay flatter than it would if you use the cap with that design. The control cap has so much control, so far away from the gun, that essentially whatever orange peel your material lands with is the orange peel that it's going to drive it.
Compared to our flow cap, which allows the material to do the work that it wants to do rather than completely taking over like the control cap. Now, this is not to say that you cannot clear with the control cap, but being that the fan edges are so defined, it's a great way to get into trouble when you're laying clear. Sometimes a softer fan edge is preferred, especially when it comes to laying clear. But when it comes to laying a tricky metallic, a sharp fan edge is going to give you a precise overlap and a consistent pattern, which you definitely want. Anyway, I finished laying the second coat of clear on these things, so let's see how they came out. So this was with our control cap. You can see it's got a bit of texture in it. It's a very tight texture because, as I mentioned, the control cap takes over the material as soon as it leaves the gun. And basically whatever peel you have when it lands is the peel that you're going to get left with. Compared to our flow cap, which allows the material to do what it was designed to do, which is when it's clear coat, flow out. And you can see exactly how that translates into a smoother finish on this bumper. If you haven't pre-ordered the Apex, you should go do that right now because there's about 11 left and there's going to be a lengthy restock period. I'm doing my best to minimize it, but there will be a waiting period. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any value out of the video, if you enjoyed it, or if you were entertained, if you could, please consider dropping a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. With all that being said, until the next time, peace!